Divine greetings and gratitude. Welcome to another video. It is early in the rising. It's about 9 something a.m., which I typically do not get a lot of time in the rising to do any readings. So we're going to be doing that right now. I, of course, miss y'all so much. Thank y'all so much for coming back onto the Saiyonan archives. I'm really excited to be doing this reading this rising. I know that my voice sounds a bit raspy right now, but that's because in the rising I do not speak. I try my best to keep myself quiet because I like to receive downloads and information and things like that, and that requires me to be silenced, and that requires me to be quiet. Of course, sometimes I'll speak out loud when I'm doing prayer, but for the most part, I like to remain silent and I communicate telepathically with the universe. That's just my own process, however. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with this reading. We're going to be working from the Mermaid Tarot, and this is going to be messages that we need to hear this rising. I'm going to be saying a prayer in my own mind right now. That's why you're going to hear silence. And I welcome you to do the same. I welcome you to quiet yourself, your body, as best as you can. Perhaps maybe you don't like sitting in silence and you like to listen to music. I invite you to listen to some meditation music to center and ground yourself. So I keep hearing the word writing, and then I heard focus on writing. So it sounds like I'm also going to have some messages coming through from me as well, not just for you guys, and I'm okay with that. Okay, so it looks like we definitely do have quite a bit of energy here that is not wanting to reveal itself, but I'm also seeing that there's some energy here that's having a really hard time evening itself out. I just heard the word contemplation, and then I also heard the word writing. So this is interesting because it almost kind of makes me feel like there's this attachment. It's like this attachment. It's just, I won't let go of this. I can't let go of this. I don't know how to let go of this. And it's almost kind of feeling like someone is having a really hard time with letting something go from their own personal life. It really does feel like I just heard the word reluctant, like someone is reluctant and somebody won't accept something for what it is. And I heard that there's someone that's sitting with themselves right now. They're sitting with themselves. They're sitting with the past. They're sitting with everything. They're sitting with the anger. They're sitting with the overreaction. They're sitting with everything, and it's almost kind of coming down to like a boiling point where they're trying to figure out, like, how do I even this energy out? How do I make this right? I don't really know if I can make this right because of how long this has been going on, and I'm feeling like it's too late. I feel like what the Devil card here is that someone here is just really having a hard time accepting things. Like, it's one of those things where someone, you know how people, they tend to be very dismissive of people's feelings and emotions. They tend to gaslight when they don't want to accept a certain part of themselves. And then when they kind of have to sit with themselves and take accountability, they find it difficult because for so long they've been trying to convince themselves through gaslighting other people. And I feel like when people do that and they do it for years and years and years at a time, eventually it comes back because there's a moment where something disrupts, and then there's a moment where something just kind of happens, and it almost kind of forces this person to see themselves in a way that is very uncomfortable. And that's the energy that I'm getting here. It's like someone is seeing themselves in a very uncomfortable way. And it's interesting because, again, they don't know how to, yeah, they are not knowing how to move forward. They have a lot going on right now. And to be quite honest with you, they're just really unhappy. This energy is extremely unhappy. They're not feeling the energy at all. They just, I'm hearing that someone is like having a really hard time looking at themselves in the mirror, and they feel responsible for something, but they're not going to admit it. And I feel like, yeah, I feel like this energy is just not going to admit it. No matter how many times you try to reason with this and with this person, or no matter how many times you try to extend the love or the welcoming to this person, they just are not going to admit it. And I feel like spirit is letting you know that it's better for you to allow yourself to move on versus trying to force this person to get what they're not going to get. And the messed up part is, what I'm hearing is that they understand fully and completely. Like they know 100%, but they can't admit it to you out loud, because if they do, it makes it real in their own mind. And it's interesting because it's already real in their own mind, but they can't afford to accept that level of accountability, because if it does, then it makes everything else that happened in the past right. And they have to continue to gaslight you, not in a personal way, right? Like even though it may be personal, because this person may definitely be a part of your family, but in this instance, what I'm hearing is that they just simply cannot afford to be honest, or they cannot afford to agree with you, because if they did, then it will make everything else real, and they cannot handle that level of rigor. They cannot handle that level of truth. So unfortunately, what I'm hearing is that it's one of those things where the energies are going to have to figure out a way to move on. Wow, I feel like, I don't want to say this, but I feel like it, for some people, I feel like you're just going to have to learn how to move on without them, to be quite honest. I just heard that there is another way, but don't count on it. Like there is another way, but don't count on it. I just heard Spirit say to write about it. Wow. As I say that there is another way, here you go. There is another way. We have an unidentified card here. Spirit is asking for you to write about this energy. I have to go pick up a card. The Mermaid Tarot really wants to speak with you. You may connect really well to, I feel like you connect really, 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 really well to watery energy. You have, this deck really does speak to you very loudly. Give me 1 second. I have to go chasing a card real quick. And the card that I ended up having to chase, of course, was a Queen of Swords. This is letting me know that whoever this energy is for, it feels like it's one of those, I'm seeing this as two people. Like I'm seeing this as you, and I'm seeing this as someone else. And I just heard the word battle. It's one of those things where you are just not, someone is like not moving, especially with the Hierophant card here. With the Hierophant being here, it's the energy where it's like, I refuse to, I'm stuck in my ways. Like I'm set in my ways. And even if I know what the divine truth is, even when I know what's real, even when I know this, I'm going to stick to what I believe. I'm going to stick to my faith, because it's the only thing that keeps me sane. Like if as I say that, I see a flock of what looks like, are those ducks or seagulls? I don't know. But I just seen like a flock of birds. And it's interesting because on the bird's belly, I saw white, and on the wings, like the wing part, the under part, I saw black. So there's a beautiful contrast. Well, I don't want to say a beautiful contrast, but there's this really deep and interesting contrast between the white and the dark. It's like this or that. And I feel like that's kind of where things are right now. It's like instead of seeing from a higher perspective, it's this black and white situation where it's either this or either that. And it's no middle ground, no common way. And it's interesting because I feel like it's like with the ultimate loss. And it's like, that at some point in time you try to make this energy work. It could be a relationship, it could be with you and a mother, or you and a father, or a brother, sister, whoever it may be. It could be, a friendship. But either way it goes, it's one of those things where it's like a sad story of things just don't work out this way. And I feel like Spirit is asking for you exactly. Five of Pentacles here. It's like things just don't work out this way. I mean, it's just a loss, but it's one of those things where it's like it's so undeniably real, it's so undeniable that it's like it's one of those things that I'm feeling where it's like you just can't force this kind of energy at all. Like you just can't force it. You cannot force it. You have the Six of Pentacles. It's like someone has been overly giving in the situation. Someone has been constantly giving and giving and giving without fully receiving what they needed. And that's part of the problem. And that's a part of the problem that I feel like someone is not accepting here. It's like I've been giving and giving and giving, but for whatever reason, you are not receiving what I'm trying to give, and you are not giving me what I need. You feel that I should be grateful for whatever it is that you gave, but what you're giving me is trauma. You yell at me whenever we have a talk or whenever we have a disagreement. You taught me that it's safer for you to yell at me and misunderstand me and tell me what it is that I need and who I am. And you tell me that I'm wrong, but you don't take the time to listen to me. And that's part of the reason why I feel the need to protect myself. And then the other person feels like it's an attack, and it's like, well, you make me feel this way and you make me feel that way. And that very person who's saying things like you make me feel is not taking accountability for their actions. Meanwhile, person B is taking accountability for their actions, beating themselves up because they feel like they can do better. And I also can speak from experience here. And I feel like it's this love that's missing between the two parties. It's like, I just want to love you in the best way that I can, but I don't know how. Well, it takes work. The Sun card is also here. So you have the Lovers card, you have the Sun card, you have the Ace of Cups, you have we said the Star, you also have the High Priestess, and you also have the Nine of Wands. I feel like there's this energy that is kind of like blocking out, is actively it's like they're actively choosing to block this out because they'd rather not deal with what comes with having a relationship or having a dynamic with this person. Because whenever you are in the presence of this person, right, whenever you are in the presence of the devil, it makes you hold yourself accountable. This is Capricorn energy unapologetically. This is Capricorn energy where it's like, if you are in my presence, if you feel trapped, it's because you are trapping yourself. Like, it's not me trapping you, it's you trapping yourself. And I feel like that's part of what this person is just not accepting. You're not taking accountability, and because of that, you yourself are enslaved in your own torments because you refuse. And then there's another energy where it's like, well, you are also choosing to refuse to let go of something. Or maybe it's you've let go of something, but there's this one thing you will not let go of. And I feel like it has a lot to do with what is being told to you. I feel like it's a lot to do with what this person is saying. This person, this energy is relentless when it comes to its opinions. It does not care. I'm hearing that it does not care about anyone else's objectives or feelings or emotions but their own. They may say that they do on a good day, but when things hit the fan, the mask comes off. And I feel like they don't really know the difference between pretending to be okay and actually being okay. And I'm hearing that with this energy, what I'm hearing is that there's some strong enlightenment. Like, this situation that happened, it's not over yet. Like, it's still some things that I feel like are going to happen. But what I feel like is that it's going to be an opportunity to make things right. It's going to be an opportunity to make things better. And what I'm saying for some of you is that you're actively choosing to walk away because you're like, okay, well, I'm going to shake hands. Cool. I'm out the ring. I'm good. I'm done. Like, this is not my fight anymore. For others of you, this is going to be where you can come together, but I just heard the word stipulation. It's going to be stipulation. I just heard that the reason why Spirit wanted this to happen in this way was because it needs you to start writing and speaking more about this truth, because a part of your journey requires you to speak more about your truth. And if you kept them in your space, if you kept them in your field, it would have been almost impossible for you, or you would have refused to write about this or to speak about this or to share this part of your story out of a need to keep the peace with people. And I feel like the Justice card says, well, because of this happened. But if you keep being so sacrificial, it's going to end up being an imbalance, and you can't even fulfill your purpose if you don't speak about that. Because whether you want to believe this or not, this is actually going to help you and them. It helps everybody win. But what they're saying is that there's a responsibility that you must have if you do choose to write about this, if you do choose to speak about this. There has to be a level of respect, reverence, and responsibility in this situation. Respect, reverence, and responsibility is all here now, okay? I feel like with the High Priestess here, this is the energy that's just like, okay, well, I surrender to you, Divine. I don't know exactly what the logical explanation is, but I do trust that everything is going to work out exactly the way that it needs to. Show me, Divine, how to work my magic so that I may be protected through this situation, and so I also may teach this to others as well. And I feel like with this 10 of Cups here coming up in reverse, it's like I don't know how to find the happiness right now. I don't know how to move on. There's so much going on right now. I don't know what to do. And I feel like this could have probably happened out of nowhere. I don't see the Tower card, but I do feel the Tower card's energy, and it's weighing on your mental. You're probably waking up thinking about it, going to sleep thinking about it, and it's like it doesn't hurt as much as it did when it first happened. But at this point in time, it's like, well, it's getting a little bit easier. And I feel like there is this genuine want to come together. It's just, I don't know how to come together with you and take accountability at the same time. I just don't know how to do that. And I don't even think I'm ready. And that's what I hear someone saying. Spirit, are there any other messages that you have for us right now or for the collective through this deck? Okay, you have this card here. You have the 4, exactly. You have the 4 of Cups here. This card really speaks to you. Like, these cards are really speaking like hard. You have the Devil again. I'm being called to just like yeah, you have the Devil card again. I'm being called to move these to the side real quick and kind of I kind of want to just pull this out. As a matter of fact, I want this card out. I just heard the word surrender. Surrender to it all. And there's an emphasis on writing. If you know me by now, you know that I'm a writer. So I know I can relate to that a lot. Oh, wow. And of course you have the Devil. Oh, yeah, but we said that. So the last messages that are coming out are... Okay. Okay, you have the Star card again. You have the 5 of Cups. There is recovery after loss. There is recovery after loss. And I feel like the blessing in this, I don't like to say blessing, but the blessing in this is that there are things that I feel like are definitely going to transpire. And what I'm seeing with you is that so Spirit is bringing my attention to you creating some type of sanctuary. Spirit is asking for you to start studying ritual, start studying not studying, but maybe you want to brush up on the lunar cycles. And they're saying that they're wanting you to be the teacher. They're wanting you to teach something. They're wanting you to teach. They're wanting you to teach through writing. They're wanting you to teach. Your path is not going to look like everybody else's. You have to be okay with that. You have to understand that success for you is not going to look like everyone else's, and you are in the stages where you're building, and it's okay that you are. There are people that are coming across your path right now that are learning from you, whether you believe it or not. And also, there's someone that really does miss you as well. I feel like I just heard the word curating. I have to go chasing a card. Give me 1 second, please. The card that I had to go chasing was this Knight of Wands here. And what I'm seeing with the Knight of Wands is that they're asking for you not to give up, and they're saying that you are a lot more intuitive and a lot stronger than you think. And what they're also stating too is that there is an opportunity for you to build community here. I feel like when you start speaking from personal experience, it's not about you being relatable, it's about you being resonant. And when you allow yourself to be resonant over relatability, or when you choose resonance over relatability, that's when you start to really gather people. And I also see that one day you're going to end up having an in-person space. Do not give up on that dream at all. I know that I can 100% relate to that. I feel like this is, I just heard recovery after loss, and there's this deep longing that it's something that you call for that you don't, that you feel that you don't have right now. And I feel like spirit is letting you know that the more that you be, the more that you keep yourself hidden, the more you won't have it. And I feel like it's one of those things where you have to let yourself out of your own entrapment. And I almost feel this sense of like, I feel this deep sense of reverence and love for you, because I feel like you really want so much to get out there to explore, but there's something that pulls you back, and there's something that holds you back. The devil card here is also coming up as a fear. It's coming up as the energy where it's just like, well, I don't know exactly. Wow, things keep falling over. I'm wondering if things are falling out of your life at the moment. Like, I'm wondering if you feel like things are just kind of happening and falling away out of control. That's what I feel. I feel like something's happening out of your control, and spirit is asking for you to surrender. Like, seriously, it's one of those things like where you couldn't control it if you tried. So you may as well just go ahead and surrender to it. You just go ahead and surrender to it. Wow. Come together and then follow the leader. Exactly. What this comes, wow. You cannot make this up. Like, your card is speaking so loudly. Your card is speaking so loudly to you at the moment. Heal the ouch. Wow. Listening. This is so beautiful. I feel like the reason why this is so beautiful is because the metamorphosis, follow the leader, and listening. This is the energy that feels a lot like you listening to the divine, because that's what's going to lead you into this other phase. That's what's going to help you bring things together. And I feel truly like you are going to be the one to bring them together. There's something that you are going to do or say that's going to be an example of what to do. And I feel that in the future, I'm seeing that there's a change happening with you. And I feel like it takes for you to let yourself heal the ouch. It's a magic prayer, and it's education. Remember when we said about teaching, right? Exactly. You're learning and you're teaching. I feel like you're going to get into teaching. And they're saying that I want you to teach through writing. I want you to teach through writing. I want you to teach through writing. And it's energy because it's energy. Wow. It's energy. I was going to say that it's interesting because you have here listening. You also have here stuck in the mud. Funny thing is that with the stuck in the mud card, I don't even really see you being stuck, even though you may feel that way. I actually feel like there's something happening in your life where it's like, if you keep trying to move and get yourself out of it, you're actually going to increase your chances of sinking. Instead, they want you to pause, and they want you to move, and they want you to pull yourself back, because when you do that, you allow yourself to come up, because the more that you try to get out of it, the more that you reinforce you being stuck in this space. I'm hearing like quicksand or like quick mud or something like that, where it's like, how do I get out of this? How do I get out of this? And I feel like it's one of those things where it's very strategic. I feel like a part of your purpose was activated as a result of what you experienced. Yeah, a part of your a part of your purpose was activated as a result of you experiencing this. And it's interesting because I feel like truly, I feel like you found a sense of self, a sense of courage, a sense of confidence with this. I don't see the magician card, but I wouldn't be surprised if you have been getting the magician card a lot recently. And the reason why is because I feel like they're letting you know, your guides are letting you know that it's time for you to start wielding that power and really reinforcing it, is what it feels like, to be quite honest with you. And I also feel like there are some opportunities of growth. You also do have some seeds being planted here, but they're asking for you to let yourself, I just heard, let yourself go. Surrender to all of it, no matter what it looks like. Surrender to the process, because even when you think that you're not really getting anywhere, you actually really are getting somewhere. And they want you to understand that, and it's okay. They want you to understand that it is okay. With this metamorphosis coming together, I feel like you're teaching people how to love, how to be. I feel like you're teaching people how to get themselves out of these emotional situations where they feel stuck and stagnant and they can't tend to release. I feel like you're starting to teach, or you're going to get ready to teach. I just heard the word unconditional love. I feel like you may even teach people what it looks like to have unconditional love for someone. It's one of those things where you believe that you can't come out of this situation. The vision that I can't remember if this was like on a movie or something like that, but okay. So this is definitely one of those things where I don't know if you've ever seen Avatar, where Prince Zuko was with his uncle and whatnot, and he did what you would believe to be like an ultimate betrayal, and he was so angry with his pardon me for that interruption. So he was so angry at himself, angry at others, and angry with the world, and he was going through his own thing, and his uncle was always there. And dive deep, his uncle was always there, and he did, like, his uncle ended up in jail and whatnot, and then eventually Zuko ended up going back to his uncle one final time, and his uncle embraced him, and he just cried, and he just hugged him. And you would think that, wow, you would think that it would be the end, you would think that it would be done, but somehow the uncle just knew. The uncle was just like, I welcome you. I knew that you just lost your way, and I'm so glad that you found your way back. And as I say that, these birds are now back, and they're flying, um, not flying over my house, but they're across the way, and I'm seeing that they have come back, and that's a sign. This is a sign that you're gonna end up coming back together. Like, you don't think you are, but you will. But you are. But by that time, I feel like everyone will have sat with themselves, and everyone is exactly like, there is hope. Like, I don't like to get myself hung up on hope and things like that, but I just heard reassurance, and I just heard assurance. Like, this is one of those things where it is very real. It is very real. You have asked for help. You can ask your guides for help and guidance. Who you come while waiting and letting go. Exactly. It's like who you are and who you become as a result of this is someone that is so full of wisdom, and that's what makes you qualified to teach, because you've lived it. And people may not be able to understand this. What I'm hearing is that you're a returned one, like a bodhisattva, I believe it's called. Forgive me for mispronouncing that. I'm pretty sure I did, but I feel truly like this is that energy where it's so undeniable. And I feel that with this ask for help, it's like actually people are going to come to you to ask for help because of your situation. It's like, you know what it feels like to have to let go. You know what it feels like to have to move on. You know what it feels like to have to dive deep. And as a result of that, people come to you to learn from you, and they get your expertise. And I feel like that's one thing that you can do. Also, this needed to happen for everybody's sake. Like, I feel deeply like whatever situation just happened, it happened and it needed to, for everybody's sake. Okay. I feel like with this healed ouch here, that there 100% are some things that may be a pain to you, that you may feel like you don't know how to heal yourself. And when you start to create this group, or this excuse me, this space That's when you start to receive the healing. So focus on creating the space, focus on creating and curating a space for yourself, for other people, and watch just how much you heal as a result of doing that. Watch how much you heal as a result of you sticking to the process. Let yourself stick to the process, because there's something that I feel like you're going to embody. You're going to end up embodying a divine teacher, and the world is going to see it. The world is going to see it. I said the world, like not just your neighbors, not just your community, not just your immediate community. It's going to be the world. Like the world is going to see you. Wow, look at that. As I say that miracles are at the bottom of the deck here, that's confirmation altogether. This wound is so deep. And I feel like you spend a lot of time in the deep end, and that's exactly what also makes you qualified, because you know what it's like to have to spend time in that space where others have not been. Like you've been to spaces where others have not been. And it's interesting because I feel like with you, you're so unique. You're so unique. I just heard you are the great teacher. I just feel like you have a lot of strong teacher like energy to you. Ascendant master energy walks with you. Man holding a heart. Wow, I love that. Man holding a heart. This is a support. Like this is someone who's of support and who loves supporting you. And I feel like with them supporting you and with them being with you on this journey, it's what helps you go even further. Spirit, is there anything that I'm not seeing at the moment that I need to see? Okay, I'm hearing that I'm okay. Wow, look at that. Is there something that I'm not seeing here that I need to see? And then look at this. Someone's wearing a blindfold at the bottom of the deck. You cannot be for real. Okay, let's go ahead and pull that out. Contract. And it's funny because you have the scales here again. So this to me is something, I just heard the word equilibrium. Of course I would hear that because of scales. But I feel like with this though, is like someone is like, okay, I don't necessarily need to judge this from my own personal with my own personal opinions. However, there's a contract here. This is bringing me to Saturn. Check your Saturn placement and check your Libra placement, because there may be something there that can help you balance things out. I just heard it's an agreement. Archangel Metatron is here. Fourth chakra, Archangel Raphael. I believe that Raphael is an angel of writing. Is it not? Is he not? The garden and the gate. Wow, exactly. Closing yourself off to things. You don't need to do that at all whatsoever. This is definitely connecting me to your intuition. You have a really strong intuition. 100%. You have a really strong intuition. You've also probably been seeing 444 a lot. I feel like with the fourth chakra here, this is definitely directly connected to the heart space. I feel like your heart space and your third eye is directly connected, which your third eye to me is really your first eye, but you know, I'm not here to debate anyone. Wow, you have a lot of chakra cards coming out. I feel that this is wow, you cannot be serious. You have, wow, okay, I'm gonna stop pulling cards, because if I keep pulling cards, wow, your gateway to this new life or whatever it is that you want to experience is going to come with you becoming a lot more aligned. And I really do see alignment here. I see alignment, but I just heard you have to be the guru, because you are the guru. You are a guru and you don't believe it yet, but you'll see. And you don't understand how it works out because you have a very modest energy to you. And it's out of that modesty and humility that's also what makes you such an amazing teacher and such an amazing guru, because you have this energy that's very modest, and It's out of that humility. It's like people, oh, I just got a glimpse of Harry Potter. I just seen Harry Potter. You may be very connected to Harry Potter. And while other people may be connected to like Hermione and they love Hermione, you are more connected to Harry, because when you think about Harry, he did not think of himself as a very great teacher. He saw the flaws in himself. He didn't want to teach because he didn't feel worthy, or he didn't feel like he, needed to do that and things of that nature. And he wasn't really good at accepting praise and things of that nature. He was very modest, but he turned out to be one of the best teachers to teach the students how to defend themselves because of what they were facing. And you have that same energy. There's a really strong Aquarian, Saturn, and I just heard the word Venusian. So very strong Venusian, very strong Scorpionic, and very Saturn-like energy to you. If you look at Harry's life, he really had to undergo a lot of transformation, and it was very intense. And it happened, he has such a really hard childhood and things like that. I feel like you relate to Harry more than you relate to anyone in in that series. You may connect to Hermione in your studies and things like that, and your ability to analyze and be very emotionally intelligent. She's very brilliant in her own way, but she's just that. She's just brilliant in her own way. You have Harry, who we're not comparing, but you have a strong emphasis on being like main character energy, even when you don't try. And it's because of all the rigor, the life lessons, and the things that you went through, which makes you a credible teacher. You have to understand that your life lessons is what helps you become credible, is what makes you credible. And also, I think I remember saying something at the very beginning of this reading where it was an emphasis on writing, and it was an emphasis on writing about these things. I feel like writing is your way to align. And writing is your gateway for people to come to you and ask for help. Because not only do you write, but they say that they want you to speak about what you write, right? They want you to speak about these things. They want you to share these things, because even though you may not see the relevance, even though you may not see the value, you hold so much more value because you have the potential, not even the potential, but the capacity to help others align because you've been through the experience. And you went through it alone at that. I just heard your guide say, trust yourself. You asked us for help. Trust yourself. And we can help you. Because if you don't trust yourself, that means that you don't trust your intuition, and we communicate to you via your intuition. So it defeats the purpose. You have to trust yourself if you want help from us. If you want help from your guides, you have to trust yourself, because they speak to you via your intuition. That's what they're saying. Okay? At the end of the day, you don't see it yet, but you'll end up becoming a happy family again. I also see this as bittersweet, because even though you know that it'll never be the same, it'll be good enough for you to say, you know what, I love you, and I can accept that. I do love you. I just heard that there's going to be a distance between everyone. At the same time, that distance is a boundary, but you can still love each other at arm's length. Wow, interesting. Because if you look at this card here, they are literally like arm's length away. Like they're not all the way like close up on each other. There's a distance, and they create a line. In this instance, I'm seeing that your family, or you, or if this has anything to do with people, there is always going to be that distance, but then there's always going to be that love at the same time. That's the energy that I feel. And that's the reading. Wow. That's the reading. Yes. Thank you so much for tuning in and for listening. I hope that this helped you in any way that you needed it to help you. And I'm glad that I was the one to do the reading for you. Yes. So, of course, you're here on the archives already. Make sure that you stop by to pick up your essentials over in the Etherium. Make sure that you get whatever is available right now. I actually just did a reading for someone. I think it was yesterday. And that's the reason why I've been slowing down. I've been having so many things that I've been taking care of and whatnot, and so many things that I'm going to be doing. So yes, make sure that you pick up what you need on the way out. Also, make sure that you tell your friends, your family about the Saiyonan archives, the Etherium, and make sure that you just, set your intention for growth for our space. I really have so many things that I want to do. I want to create an in-person space one day, and I really do. Oh my goodness. I just saw this waiting card here. I didn't even realize. I just heard it's a matter of time. For someone, this is a matter of time. Okay. I love you so very much, tribe. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and get to work. I'm going to go see if I can edit this video. And yes, I love you. Take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.